leaving Debbie's now, and I'm heading back home, and it's been a lovely weekend. I've really enjoyed myself. The weather's been really kind to us. It's pretty much been sunny the whole time. No sign of rain, no high winds, nothing like that, so it's been absolutely gorgeous. First day we turned up, we took the dogs for a walk so they could get to know each other before they came into the house and the garden and everything together. And we went for a lovely walk along the river.
In 300 yards, turn left onto A378.
We went for a lovely walk to the pub along the river, and just trying to figure out where I'm meant to be turning. Oh, I see where I'm meant to be turning.
Take the next left onto A378.
So it was a beautiful walk, and she showed me where the river overflows.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
And luckily it flows away from our house, not to our house, because the river kind of goes along the back edge of her property. So it could quite easily flood towards her. But the way that the farmers have all worked the land and everything, it's designed to draw the water away from the houses and down onto the flats and to soak away there. But she was showing me how the bit that we're walking along is a little bit raised, and when the waters were really high, she was walking along this like grass road down the middle, and there was water either side of her. And looking at the river of what it is now, it was quite difficult to imagine that, but obviously at the same time you could see how the land was formed, so you could see how it could get like that. Anyway, the walk was meant to be about 40 minutes. I asked her and she said, oh yeah, it's about 40 minutes. I thought, yeah, Cody can do that, I can do that. Even with my bad ankle I can do that, because my ankle has been locked since Wednesday, I think. So it was locked all day Wednesday, all day Thursday at work, real pain. And then headed off and thought, please go on, you know, I won't be walking on it, I'll be driving, I won't use it very much, I'll hopefully be a bit more relaxed, hopefully it will unlock. It's the Achilles tendon that's locked up again, and no, it's remained locked all this time, and which has been a real pain. So that walk that was meant to take us 40 minutes ended up taking us about an hour and a quarter, somewhere like, or an hour and a half, something like that. But we got to the pub and we had a couple of drinks, and then we walked back, and I walked a bit better on the way back, most likely because the alcohol had numbed the pain in my ankle, which was good. So that was a lovely walk, and we got back to hers just before dark. Got in, and they cooked me a lovely meal, and we just caught up, just loads and loads of chatting. Then Cody and I went off to the motorhome, came back in here and slept the night, and then in the morning I let him out for a toilet break, and I knuckled down to do my study, which was one of my main reasons for coming away for the weekend, was to get my studying done. And I completed the paper along with designing the leaflet, and I just thought, but I'm looking at it, and this is the other papers, generally speaking, I've been quite confident, oh yeah, that was fun, that was enjoyable, I hope I did well in that, and in most cases I did, and there's only been a couple that have had tiny little tweaks that I've had to do on them. But
in a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, continue straight onto B3153.
So this particular paper was not easy and was not entirely enjoyable. It was hard work, and I somehow feel like this one's going to get referred to me, and I'm going to have to do a fair bit of work on it in order to resubmit it. That's what I've kind of got going on in me. I'm thinking, oh no, it really isn't going to not going to be a good one, this one. And then I've looked at the next one that I've got to do, and that's even harder, and I'm really feeling sick in the stomach for doing that one. But once I've done that, then I've completed the course. As long as they pass, I will have completed the course. So fingers crossed I managed to get into that one and do that one soon, but I am dreading it. I'm kind of thinking I want a week off right now, with no studying, to prep myself. But on the other hand, I'm a bit worried that if I give myself a week off, I'll fall out of sync, you know, and not do the work. Not, you know, I'll just keep putting it off, and I won't really be in that mind frame for doing research and writing and stuff. Anyway, that's something to look forward to in the next week or so. So we had it was great. It was, I think, early afternoon on the Saturday that I completed my paper, and I was like, yes, because I was expecting it to take
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Tengor Lane.
And so that gave me much more of the day than I thought I was going to have in order to be with Debbie. And Debbie showed me around her house, which is lovely, around her land. She's got about 4 acres there. And
turn right onto Tengor Lane.
No, that's not Tengor. Oh, I see this road here. You hate it when the sat-nav says that and there are two roads right next to each other and one looks tiny and you think, no, there's no way that's the road.
Continue on Tengor Lane for 1 mile.
So yeah, they talked about their plans and what they would like to do and what they're thinking about doing, and I remember how magical and exciting it is when you get, like when we got Badger's Cottage and we suddenly found ourselves having gone from no garden to having an acre of land and then having use of another 40 acres of land, and it was like, oh my god, what do you do with all this space? And then realising that actually you don't need a huge amount of it to do what you want to do with it. So they could grow enough vegetables to keep the whole of the village going, but on the other hand they could grow just a little bit for themselves. So maybe not that many vegetables, but a particular vegetable for the whole village. But you know, I hope they get ducks or guineas or, you know, chickens or whatever, and get those bits going. That would be fun for them, and it's a nice easy thing as well. But I've got my fingers crossed for them that they get going, and I've given them some links on, you know, like Roots of Refuge and other favourites of mine that I've followed on YouTube, which is where I've learned how to grow vegetables myself. And so hopefully passed on a little bit of my knowledge. I do hope so. I like it when I can share a bit of what I've learned to someone else and help them along their way. And she's got hand fasting to go to, which is the first time ever, which is her niece's hand fasting, I think, later on this year. So she kind of wants
in 300 yards, turn left onto A372.
So I have been able to sort of, it was, in fact, that was great because I haven't touched base with my pagan side and all the...
Take the next left onto A372.
All of, you know, how you celebrate, how you act as a pagan, what you celebrate, what you believe in, how connected you are to the earth.
Continue on A372 for 5 miles.
The fun you can have with each of the celebrations through the turning of the wheel of the year. All those things. It was wonderful to remember to take myself back to the base of all my learning when I first started, and then to talk her through that. And then that kind of led on to, how did I get into it in the first place? You know, who I met, how I met them, what little tiny stepping stones got me from a life that was so incredibly different to a life that was incredibly rewarding. It was lovely to sort of relive those memories as well and have someone that was interested in hearing about them. So that's been absolutely wonderful. And we went out and we had a dinner in the same pub last night, and I had a lovely sausage and mash and veggies, and Cody and Phantom were very relaxed in the pub, which was lovely. Then this morning Debbie cooked a lovely cooked breakfast for us, which was wonderful. Had that and a couple of cups of tea, and I packed up the motorhome ready to drive home and showed her around it so she could see how we're set up, how, you know, what it's all like back there. The little gadgets and things that I have that make my life a bit easier. And then, yeah, I have all the facilities here to be able to cook and wash and all the rest of it. But truth be told, most of the time it's wet wipes and takeaways. But it doesn't have to be. It's just sometimes it's just easier, and it's no more expensive. I mean, sometimes obviously it can be quite a bit expensive, quite a bit more expensive. But sometimes, for the sake of going in and getting a cooked breakfast somewhere that isn't too expensive, it's about the same price as if you went and got all the pieces yourself. Because I know me, I'd end up in the farm shops that sell the best food, but the most expensive food. And sometimes you just need a quick fryer. So, yeah, I've had a lovely weekend, a lovely long weekend. Just said goodbye to them, got into the motorhome and heading back home now. And I'm just, Debbie and Jeff, thank you for putting me up. It's been an absolutely lovely, magical weekend of really catching up with good friends that it's just wonderful. I can't say anymore. It's just wonderful. And Kodi made a new friend. So we have Kodi and Phantom are now good friends. So Phantom can be a little bit heavy in his play. And when they first met, I'm just going to let this car go past because I don't drive as fast as they do. When they first met, Phantom can be a bit heavy in play, and he knocked Kodi over a few times, and Kodi can be a little bit of a baby, and so he was whining and yelping and things. But then he realised that actually, because I was saying to him, look, if you don't let him, if he starts coming at you, just hide behind me, I'll protect you. Kodi learned that one very quickly. And so I would be blocking Phantom from getting to him until Debbie could get Phantom on a lead, and then we'd give him a bit of a break, and then they'd be okay, and then he'd come off the lead again, and then they'd be fine, and then Phantom would get a bit overexcited and knock him flying again, and he'd be crybaby, and oh, I shouldn't say that about my lovely baby boy. But he is a little bit of a wuss, I have to say. But it's not a bad thing. He knows what he can take and he knows what he can't. And he's basically giving extremely clear verbal signals to his playmate that he can't handle play at that level. And Kodi plays a lot with the dogs in daycare. And the youngsters, he does play physically with them. And you've got retrievers and German Shepherd. That he plays with his favourite friends, which is Buddy and Rory, and they match each other very well. So his first experience of Phantom as we were walking to the pub was a little bit intense. On the way back, I did notice that Kodi had figured out that Phantom really didn't want to harm him. He was just, this was how he played. So Kodi got a bit better at manoeuvring himself so he wouldn't take the full-on thump as Phantom came in, so he could move and redirect the impact so that it didn't hurt him so much. And then he turned it into a bit of a dance, so then he was able to interact and join in with Phantom's game without getting beaten up too badly. That makes Phantom sound really bad, but he gets a bit overexcited and he doesn't really temper his play. But saying that, the following day the play between them was even better. It had got to, there we go. It had got to the level where actually Kodi was getting more of a game out of it. I wasn't hearing any whining. I was seeing him cower away occasionally, but there were no whimpers anymore, so I thought that's okay. They are working this out. And then today, day 3, their play was even better. Yesterday was quite funny because Cody got a bit of confidence in himself, and Phantom had a burst football, and Cody thought he could do what he can do with Purdy, which is pinch the valuable toy and play chase me for it, and when his confidence dropped a bit, he would let the ball go and let Phantom have it and run away because it was just fun teasing him. Now, when he does that to Purdy's like, oh, thank goodness I've got my toy. He had my toy. I really wanted my toy. And she's all about the toy, and she takes the toy and she takes it off to bed again, feeling that she's got her precious toy back again. Phantom, on the other hand, was, right, I've got the toy. I need to tell this boy off because he can't treat me like this and think he can tease me. So he was like, right, thanks for the ball, but you need a bit of a telling off because you're a bit cheeky for your boots, kind of thing. And Cody wasn't ready for that and wasn't expecting that, so that was a bit of a shock to him. He didn't tell him off, like, he wasn't nasty. He was just like, I'm not a dog to be teased, mate. I'm Phantom. And so that was a very quick lesson for Cody, and he did not repeat that again, which was good. He did do it with bits like a tufts of grass or the odd little stick or something like that, but he wouldn't take anything that he thought
in a quarter of a mile, at Podamore roundabout, take the second exit onto A303.
He didn't take anything that he thought Phantom would consider too precious. And by the end of it, I reckon they had a good friendship, and I look forward to seeing them again. So, I hope it's not too long until I'm giving you another update of my next travels in the motorhome, and maybe with some actual content instead of me just chatting. Until then, take care. Bye.